97.5 WKGF, the home of rock and roll.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
WKGF presents The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
Good evening, my little hockey mask wearing weirdos. You know what today is? That's right. It is Friday the 13th, the last one of the decade. The second best day on the calendar. I wish I had an awesome story to tell you about how Friday the 13th became a supposed, cursed day. But all I've ever really been able to come up with was that the Knights Templar were betrayed and slaughtered on a Friday the 13th in 1307. And honestly, that doesn't sound very awesome. I feel like that was maybe just a jumping off point for the day. Maybe from that day forward, every Friday the 13th, the legend grew a little, and it became infamous with bad luck because those Templars didn't have very good luck, and people began fearing horrifying creatures like innocent little black kitty cats and scary broken mirrors. The number 13 became unlucky as well. So unlucky, in fact, buildings skip it altogether. When you're in an elevator, it jumps from floor 12 to floor 14 really fast. They're not fooling anybody, though. There's not a mysterious 13th floor. 14th floorers, you know what's up. Eventually, the day morphed into Halloween Light, and then, even better, into an awesome franchise of movies. But I figured if the universe is looking to dish out some bad luck, we might as well grab a microphone, flip on the switch, and see what happens. Maybe the phone lines will fry. Maybe my Jolt Cola will go flat. Maybe all of this awesome hair of mine will fall out. Or maybe we'll get a few spooky stories from all of you brave souls out there in Radioland. Now I'm worried about my hair. So, have you had a Friday the 13th curse strike? Bad omens, mysterious kitty cats, unexplained buffet disasters like I had earlier in the week? You know the number, 805-272-0089. Give your old pal Max a call. All right. Joining me, as always, is my producer, Ricky. And outside, our fan club has grown. That's right. 6 losers are now outside holding signs. Hi, guys. Thank you for your support out there. You're doing a bang-up job. Oh, God, I love Friday the 13th. The air just feels crisper. You feel it, Ricky? I don't know. All right, buddy. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's see who we have. Who do we have?
All right, we've got Eric, a young listener from Santa Cruz, California.
Eric from Santa Cruz. What is up, Eric?
Hi.
Hey, Eric. Wow. How old are you, buddy?
I'm 11.
Right on. Well, what do you got for me?
Well, I figured, since you're on the radio, you might, know how something might, work, like radio related.
That's possible.
My sister, June, she used to be obsessed with, radio stuff. And the entire corner of her bedroom was this big radio CB type setup thing. She was always in there trying to, I don't know, talk to people from all over, I guess. She even convinced Mom and Dad to put like a big antenna on the side of the house. Like, she was really, really into it. And like, she always tried to get me into it, but I didn't know like what she was talking about, like transistors and frequentlies or whatever. Like, I'm only interested in Nintendo, but like something really, really weird happened a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't told anyone, not even my parents, because I don't know if they'll believe me or if it will like make them sad. So I waited until they were asleep to call you. I'm really nervous. I'm sorry.
Thanks, buddy. You're doing great. I promise. Keep on going.
So, she used to tell me on nights with like lightning, the radio waves or whatever were like stronger or something. I don't know. But a couple weeks ago, it was storming, like big time storming, and I wandered into a room to play with her radio. I didn't know what I was doing.
Your sister wasn't there?
No, she's dead.
Oh, no, Eric. I'm so sorry, buddy.
She was dead by killed by in a car crash over a year ago. I miss her. I miss her so much. There's been like this hole in my stomach since she left, and it'll probably never be filled, but I miss the way she could somehow manage to hum out of tune, and the way her weird strawberry shampoo smelled, the way she would slap her own butt when she would put on Guess jeans like some sort of fashion ritual. I even miss when she would call me a snake turd. I'd never heard that insult from anyone but her. Snake turd. So that's why I went into her room during the storm, because storms always excited her so much, and I thought maybe showing an interest in it might make her happy somehow.
June Harper, come in, June Harper.
Hello?
I'm trying to reach June Harper. Come in, June Harper.
June's not here.
Can you get her for me? I'm positive I have all the right details to reach her, and it's now or never.
Oh, you're one of her friends from somewhere out there. I'm sorry, but she's not coming.
You know her?
Yeah, of course I know her, but she's not here anymore.
What do you mean?
She died last year.
What? No, she didn't. I'm sure of that. Come on, I checked the frequencies, the solar conditions, everything. I know she's there with you, you little snake turd. Now let me talk to her.
What did you say?
I said go get June. I don't have much time.
No, like, you called me a snake turd. The only other person that ever called me that was June?
Yes, my name is June, but I need to... Eric?
Yeah.
Eric Harper, born August 8th, 1978?
Yes?
No, this can't be... You're dead.
Wait, what? I'm not dead. You are.
I saw you with my own eyes.
You were You were killed by a dumb, drunk driver on your way to prom.
Eric, listen to me. I don't have much time.
I don't understand.
Oh my God, Eric, I have been trying to reach myself. I'm not where you are. We're not in the same time. In my world, you were killed by a drunk driver after you and Dad dropped me off late to a school dance. I wasn't ready in time and missed everything. And I'll never forgive myself for it. I don't know how I can get you to understand this. Eric, I'm June, but I'm not the June you grew up with, but I am, if that makes sense. You have memories with another version of me, just like I have memories of another version of you, but we're still the same people.
I don't understand. You're dead. You're dead. I know you're dead. I saw you with my own 2 eyes. I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Eric, listen to me. I am your sister. I am June, and I need you to know that I love you so much, and I miss you more than anything in the world.
I miss you too. I miss you too.
Look, this isn't going to last much longer, but I've been tracking those celestial patterns for a few months and figured tonight was my best chance, which means if this worked tonight, it can work again. It's storm there, right?
Yeah, it's storming real bad. That's why I came in here.
Keep the radio on this frequency every time there's lightning in the sky, okay? Promise me, Eric. I can't stay much longer. Promise me.
No, please don't go. Please don't go, sis. Please don't go. I can't do this again. I can't do it again.
I'm here, Eric. I promise I'm here, and I'll always be here. Please promise me whenever there's lightning in the sky, it won't work every time, but I'll try.
Will it work?
It's working right now. It'll work. I promise it'll work. I'm losing the signal. Eric, I love you more than...
I love you too, June. June.
This is incredible, dude. Space and time have fascinated me for the majority of my life, and it's one of the driving forces behind, me pursuing radio as a career.
Do you believe me? I know it, sounds crazy.
Eric, everything sounds crazy about the universe. It's so far beyond human understanding, it's almost laughable. Like you're young, but do you have any idea how big the universe truly is?
No.
Okay, let's try this. Let's say you pick up a single grain of sand with some tweezers, all right? Just one grain, and hold it up to the night sky. The tiny patch of space that one grain of sand covers would contain thousands of galaxies. Thousands. And each galaxy has billions of stars. And around those stars are planets. Who knows how many Earths are out there?
That's a lot.
Dude, a lot is the understatement of the year. So if space is that big, why would we assume reality is simple? Why should we believe that this right here, where we are, this world, is the only version? If there are infinite galaxies, why not infinite versions of us?
But how could she find me with a radio?
Radio waves don't just stop when we're done listening, Eric. They keep traveling. Some go into space, some get bent and bounced in ways the human brain just can't understand. The right conditions, a storm, electrical interference, the natural magnetic fields of the Earth could twist those signals somewhere and put them where they aren't supposed to go, somewhere they've never been before.
Like dimensions?
You're familiar with dimensions?
No, I mean, not really. Krang is from Dimension X.
Yes, yes, Krang from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is from Dimension X. And I know that's a cartoon, but it's not as crazy as it sounds. There is a theory that our universe is stacked like pages in a book, each reality just a fraction apart. And sometimes, if the conditions are just right, those pages kind of brush together a bit. So you said your sister was reaching out to herself, and maybe she felt just as alone and sad as you did, and maybe the only person she could talk to that she felt would understand her would be, herself. She assumed the different realities were the same, but they're not. On accident, she found the source of her grief, you, her dead brother, and you found the source of your grief, your dead sister.
I miss her so much.
I know you do, little buddy, but my best advice for you is to stick by that radio. She seems to know what she's doing. She knows way more about that stuff than you and I both do. And I don't think she is going to let you down. You'll talk to her again. I don't know when, but if it happened before, it'll happen again. And when you do talk to her, we all want to hear about it. So, you'll call me back?
Yeah, I'll call back.
Thanks, little buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling and staying up late with us. I do appreciate that. That's tough. That's heartbreaking. All right. Phone lines are open. 805-272-0089. Let's go to Ozzy. Ozzy, what is up?
Hey, Max. I know you're a baseball fan, so I hope you appreciate this story. And more importantly, I hope you believe it.
Let's hear it. I love baseball stories.
So, baseball was everything when I was a kid. Summers meant long afternoons at the sand lot, watching the heat literally roll off the dirt, the smell of the cut grass that stuck to our sweaty and stinky clothes. I can still feel the weight of my old mitt and how it fit in my hand just right. And somewhere in the background of all those childhood memories, my dad's radio was on, calling the plays of a game I couldn't see, but in my mind I could picture everything, every pitch, every swing, every impossible catch. So, baseball to me felt permanent. Like no matter how much I was forced to grow up, it would always be there, waiting for me. But something happened. One summer that I have never been able to shake. I try and try to convince myself that it did not happen, like it was a strange waking dream. But no matter how hard I try, my brain just will not accept it. It is convinced it really did happen. So, in 1980, I was 14. I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage when I found a box filled of old baseball cards. I was totally jazzed, right? Ronkaroo, Johnny Bench, all these great cards. And in the middle, there was some cat named Chucky Grantham. Never heard of him. But for some reason, the card stood out to me. No idea why. It is a name I have never heard before in my life. The card looked ancient, like he played in like the 30s or 40s, but it was in perfect condition. So I turned the card over. 23 games played. Batting average 0.00. The guy stunk, but there was something about it. It was so weird. I slipped it into my pocket, wondering why they even wasted ink on someone with a stat line that bad. So, when I got home, I searched every baseball magazine I had, even the yearly almanacs. No record of him, nothing. No mention in the minors, nothing. Dude wasn't even good enough for the almanacs, but somehow good enough for a baseball card? That's weird. Then, as I was flipping through that almanac, the kitchen radio crackled. An old baseball broadcast, really scratchy, like it was from another time, started playing. I swear to goodness.
What?
I swear on everything. The announcer says something like, Grantham steps up to the plate. 0 for 1 on the night. Here's the pitch, and then the sound of a bat cracking. Grantham hits a single past the shortstop, a base hit for the rookie. Here is where I start fighting with my brain about daydreaming. I pulled that card from my pocket and stared at it, and it felt warm. I swear to you, it felt warm. And then I flipped it over, and his stats had changed. 24 games now, not 23, and 1 hit.
No way.
The next day, I rode out to the Sandmont for a game, okay? And that is when I saw him, Chuck Grantham. He was just standing there, his bat resting on his shoulder, but he was looking right at me. He nodded, and then he was gone. I was too young to know what a stroke was or what a mental breakdown was or anything, so I just stood there in disbelief. I feel like I should have been scared or worried or even excited, but it just felt like the most natural thing in the world. Me just seeing some guy I knew and, giving him a nod. So, that night, I dreamt of a game, okay? A real game. The stadium was alive and roaring with noise, and I was there, but I wasn't. I was still in bed. I knew I was still in bed, but yet somehow I was watching it all happen, okay? So Grantham steps up to the plate. It's the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. I knew what I had to do. I had to cheer him on. I don't know why I was seeing this, but I knew I had to cheer this guy on. So I just start screaming, right? Come on, Chucky, over the fence. The pitch comes, okay? He swings. Crack! The ball soared high and deep over the left field wall. A game-winning home run. And the crowd goes wild. And just like that, his stats changed again. When I woke up, I checked the card. Major League debut, 1949. Career batting average, 281. And right there, printed in black and white, game-winning home run, June 1st, 1949. I don't expect you to believe me, Max, but I held onto that card all summer. I watched his stats grow in real time. I have never told a soul until now. The only way I have to prove it, and even I will admit it is shaky at best, but look at all the baseball almanacs before 1980, okay? You will not find a single mention of him. But from that 1981 almanac on, there he is, with the pennant-winning 1949 Boston Braves.
Man. Okay, now that is an awesome story. And you really, truly believe it happened to you?
Dude, all signs point to a dream or a hallucination or something, but for whatever reason, I just cannot convince myself of that. And once I got that new almanac in 81, I felt like that was all the proof I needed.
Dude, that's the thing. No one else has to believe it. Sometimes things happen to people that are purely personal experiences, and no one ever knows that it could have possibly changed the world. When I get home, I'm going to go through the backlogs of my almanacs and see what's what. I need to learn about old Chucky Grantham. I heard he had a great rookie year. Man, that's awesome. I'm really excited about this. All right. Thank you so much for your call, Ozzy.
Now, thank you so much for taking my call. I have been dying to tell someone that for almost a decade. Thank you, guys.
That was a fantastic story. That made my Friday the 13th. All right, guys, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but we have to take a break. But it's a short one, so just bear with us. We got to do this to keep the show on the air. I don't like it any more than you do. It's just something we got to deal with. So we'll be right back with more of The Witching Hour.
With Ortho Cleanup, your yard is manicured and free to thrive. This places where ortho leadership in garden care really shows. Ortho Cleanup. It trims walkways and removes weeds down to their very roots. Only the beauty remains. You can tell just by looking. You're better off with Ortho.
Introducing Teddy Graham. We just want to eat. Tasty Teddy Graham. A wholesome bunch of bite-sized bears. Full of golden graham. Oh, let 'em be. Your Teddy Graham. The goodness of Graham in a new lightly sweet snack. Exploding with taste in honey, cinnamon, and chocolate. Just want to eat those Teddy Grahams. Nabisco.
We now return to The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
All right, we're back. Just like I said, we'd be back. Happy Friday the 13th. We're going to go back to the phone lines now. So, Ricky, who have you got for us now?
I need you to pick up 3. Girl named Gemma got a very appropriate story for today.
I need to? That sounds pretty important. Hey, as long as she passes the Ricky lie detector test, I am very interested.
Yeah, she passes.
All right. Well, then let's go to line 3 with Gemma from Bristol, Vermont. What's up, Gemma? Happy Friday the 13th. You're on the air with The Witching Hour.
Hi, Max. Thanks. I just started listening to your show just a few weeks ago, and I like the way you let that girl who said she went to the future. I appreciated the way you just let her tell her story. So hearing you let her tell her story made me decide to call you.
I appreciate that.
This is something I haven't told a lot of people, and I haven't told anyone in years because, well, doesn't matter.
That sounds like a promising start. Let's hear it.
I tried calling the past couple of weeks and I couldn't get through. And I tried today, and the irony is not lost on me that it is Friday the 13th.
Take your time.
So it was the summer of 79. I was 17, almost 18. And, you know, I thought it was going to be the best summer of my life. There's this old camp in Vermont off of Lake McLean called, Camp McLean. It's been closed for years, but was set to reopen that summer, and I had signed up to be a counselor, me and 5 other kids, Jacqueline, Sarah, Mort, Jimmy, and Dave. 3 boys, 3 girls. We were so excited, like we had just graduated, and this was our first pure, unfiltered taste of freedom. We got there a couple days early for training, swimming tests, CPR, cabin assignments, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Basic camp training. Got it.
Yeah. So we all got there pretty early, and the first person we encountered was this crazy old dude with a scraggly beard named Harold Stevens. He comes wobbling over to us and warns us that this camp is haunted. He tells us there is a man that lives deep in the woods named Carl Langer who protects the land. Literally just like you'd expect in one of those bad movies now. But this was before all that. This was 1979. So we just kind of laughed him off and thought it was a prank. And as soon as he was gone, we forgot about him. So, anyway, we meet 2 people in charge of the camp, and they show us around. The camp was old, you could tell, but it had been spruced up a bit, and, it was actually pretty charming. There were woods all around us, except to the south, and that was the lake. I remember the fog started rolling off of it in the evening. I thought it looked so cool. But then this cat showed up. Scruffy little orange thing, like mangy, like kind of like patchy fur. Honestly, it looked half dead, but it had these eyes, like pale, cloudy glass, almost like the fog. And no matter where I was, the cat was there too. First it was by the dock when the fog came in. Then later it was sitting outside the main cabin when we locked up for the night. And the next morning, the cat was inside. Now I know it sounds stupid. It's a cat, right? Cats sneak around. But nobody let it in. The doors were shut. The windows were latched. I remember because Jimmy and Mort, they were these two dorky guys, best friends. They were in charge of locking up, and they swore up and down that that place was sealed because Jacqueline, one of the other girls, had this irrational fear of bears coming in, and it doesn't matter, and I'm going to stay on track. The point is, the cat was now inside, sitting right beside the fireplace in the lodge, just staring at us. It wouldn't move, it wouldn't blink, and I remember feeling weird about it, like it shouldn't have been there, like it was watching us and waiting.
We had a camp story last week, or the week before, I can't remember. But I have a feeling this one isn't going to be as wholesome. Please continue, Gemma.
Yeah, probably not. So, after the cat, things started happening. First, it was Jacqueline. We all woke up and she was just gone. Her bed was made, her stuff was still there, no note, no nothing. We thought maybe she bailed, but her shoes were right by the bed. I remember that. I remember thinking, why would she leave without her shoes? And even more, she was so scared of bears, it's doubtful that she would just go wander off alone, right? That was weird. So I go up front to look, and guess who's there? That stupid cat, just staring at me. I stepped over it and went to Tim and Jake's cabin. They were the ones training us. Gone. They were gone. No bags, no sign of their beds being slept in, nothing. They were just gone. I backed out of the cabin, and guess who I tripped over? That goddamn cat. It screeched, then ran off into the woods. At this point, honestly, I had enough, and I was ready to call it quits. So I ran to the parking lot, and the van we all came up in was gone. At the time, this actually made me feel better. It would explain the missing people. Like maybe Jacqueline couldn't sleep, put on some flip-flops or something, ran into Tim and Jake, who were headed into town for whatever reason, and she tagged along. It was perfectly logical, and at the time, it made me feel a whole lot better. But I turned to head back, and guess who I trip over again? This time, it didn't run off. It just followed along at my side, meowing until I was able to ditch it back at the cabin. But I started seeing that stupid cat everywhere I went. Inside the canoes down by the lake, sitting on the steps of my cabin in the middle of the night when the doors were still locked from the inside. In the damn pantry, for God's sake. In the pantry where we keep the food. How did it get in there? No one knew how it kept getting in. And every time I saw it, it let out this awful, thin little meow, like it was calling for something. And I swear on my life, every time it made that sound, it just worsened the feeling of dread inside me. Jacqueline still wasn't back. We had no way to leave. We had no idea where we even were. Paranoia had set in big time. It wasn't sudden at first. It was a slow kind of wrongness, like this growing pressure, like the air got heavy and you could feel something watching you from the trees. We tried to act normal. We swam. We set up the archery range. We made stupid jokes, just waiting it out until everyone showed back up with a funny story to tell. But none of us really believed it was fine. Like, excuses were made for where Jacqueline and the guys were. Dave tried to convince us that we're all gonna laugh like crazy about this when they come back, and Mort and Jimmy backed him up, but I don't know, I could tell they didn't really believe it. And then, well, that's when the people started dying.
Oh, no.
Jimmy went first. We were down by the water, just the 5 of us by then. Me, Jimmy, Mort, Dave, and Sarah. We'd gone down to the dock to, I don't know, pretend things were still normal, I guess. Jimmy, he was skipping rocks. He was good at it, too. He could make 'em hop 8, 9 times. And then the cat showed up again. We heard the meows first. It was sitting at the end of the dock, just staring at Jimmy, tail flicking slowly, that same glassy-eyed look, that same weird, off meow. And Jimmy, he laughed, called it his creepy little buddy, tried to shoo it off. When it wouldn't budge, Jimmy acted like he was going to throw a rock at it. He didn't get the chance. We heard something moving in the woods, something big. I'll never forget the look Jimmy gave me, like his stomach dropped out, like he knew. Before any of us could react, Jimmy was gone. Something burst through his chest and pulled him straight off the dock into the trees. No warning, no fight, just a loud crunch and gone. And the cat? It trotted off after him, covered in Jimmy's blood like it belonged to whatever took him. We ran, no hesitation, 4 of us now, running as fast as we could back to the main cabin, bolted the door, turned off the lights. I remember Mort crying, big, goofy Mort, always cracking jokes, sobbing like a little kid. Sarah kept whispering about leaving, just following the road we came in on. But I knew there was no leaving. The phones were dead. Shocking, right? The road was miles long through thick woods. And then we heard it again, a sound like twigs breaking under someone's heavy shoes as they walked towards it. It was almost too loud. So Mort grabbed an old fire axe and told me to stay back. Sarah was by the window, peeking out through a slit in the curtains. She turned to us, pale as a ghost, and whispered, "It's him." We didn't know who him was. She whispered, "It's Carl Langer." It took me a minute to realize what she was saying. Carl Langer, the guy that old man warned us about, he stepped out of the trees. He was a massive figure with like fiery red hair, no shirt, and he was wearing a mask. God, his mask. It was made of bones, like a human rib cage, wired together and bleached white in the sun. His red eyes leered out from behind that god-awful mask, lifeless but glowing. He was carrying an axe and something else. It was a bear trap. Big old rusty thing. He set it down on the porch, and we watched him set it like he had all the time in the world, like this was just a Sunday afternoon entertainment. And he set that trap open, and then the cat hopped up onto the windowsill inside the cabin, and it meowed, and we all took our eyes off Carl for a moment, giving him enough time to disappear, like he just disappeared. Then we heard knocking on the back door, just boom, boom, boom. And I remember dorky Mort saying, "Don't answer it." It almost made me laugh. The boom stopped, and we thought he had moved to another door, but nope. The door splintered open like it had just been blown apart by dynamite. He came in, slow and steady, and headed right for us. Mort, God bless him, tried to fight him off. Swinging that axe, yelling, he actually managed to hit him, caught him on the shoulder, but it didn't stop him, not even for a second. Carl grabbed Mort, lifted him clean off the floor, which is no easy task because he was a portly fella, then just chucked him against the wall. Dave attacked next and wasn't as successful. He yelled while he tried to attack, and Carl put his hand in Dave's mouth and ripped off his jaw like it was a paper towel in a public bathroom. Sarah panicked and ran out the front door, forgetting all about the bear trap we just watched him set. I'll never forget the sound her bones made as it snapped in half. Carl looked at her almost in disbelief that she walked right into it. While Carl was distracted, Mort had managed to get up and join me at my side. Mort tried to kiss me. Right there, like he thought if this was the end, this was his big chance. And just as he leaned in for that kiss, an axe split into a skull, blood shot all over me, and Mort hit the ground with a loud, wet thump. I ran. I didn't think. I just ran through the back into the woods barefoot. The cat, it followed me. No matter how fast I ran, that skinny little monster kept up with me. To make things worse, I ended up tripping over 2 dead bodies in the woods, naked, on top of each other. Their blood had soaked the blanket they had laid down for themselves. That's when the cat caught up to me. I was frozen. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. Nothing. Like it had me in a trance.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I managed to snap myself out of it, and I grabbed that damn cat with my right hand, picked it up, and threw it against a tree. It was stunned. I could tell. So I ran some more, all through the night. I never stopped moving, but I never saw that cat again. I made it to the main road and flagged down a trucker. I was covered in blood, screaming and exhausted. The cops came, and here's the worst part. The town covered it up. They said Harold Stevens, poor old Harold, who tried to warn us. They said he went crazy and did it. He was all over the news. His face was everywhere you turned. Trial by public opinion. He was a scapegoat. And me, the one person who knew he didn't do it, I was thrown into a mental hospital for almost 3 years until I convinced them that I truly believed that Harold did it. Once they believed that I believed, I was cut free. I found out Harold died before he ever stood trial. Suicide, they said.
Yeah, if anyone believes that, I've got some beachfront property in Nebraska to sell them.
It was never him. I never once believed it, no matter how badly they tried to gaslight me. I don't even know what happened to Sarah. I assume she didn't escape the trap. No idea where Jacqueline and those other 2 guys went. No one will ever tell me. Everything I could find just said they were all victims of crazy old Harold Stevens.
Oh, okay, this one has me speechless, and that doesn't happen very often. I have actually heard of Harold Stevens. In fact, I was curious about him maybe 3 years ago, but there is literally nothing out there that contradicts the story of him going mad and killing a bunch of teenagers until now.
Please don't think I'm getting into conspiracy theories now, but I've had a long time to think about this, and maybe years before us, maybe Harold survived Carl just like I did. Maybe he saw something out there in the woods and nobody believed him either. Maybe the town blamed him for something he didn't do, or maybe there was another scapegoat before him. And that's why he was out there trying to warn us, and we just laughed it off. I moved twice since then, but it follows me. Word gets around. No matter where I go, I'm looked at like I am cursed, and it doesn't make sense to me.
This is incredible. Please tell me your real name is not Gemma.
Gemma was my real name at the time all this happened. It's no longer my name, so no. Which is why it's weird that this thing keeps following me around. The official story was that I am a victim, so why do I feel like I'm being set up to be the villain?
All right, I have heard enough. I am completely convinced. Gemma, the week after Halloween, I am heading up to Indiana to do some digging around for some missing kids. Then I was going to spend my next week's vacation on Maui. But now I think I want to come to you instead. Would you be willing to meet with me? I won't disclose your name or location or anything like that.
I would love to meet with you. I don't want to lean into even more weird conspiracy theories, but again, this happened in 1979. A year later, movies with this exact same plot started to be churned out almost nonstop. And maybe I'm crazy, but what if all these movies are just part of the same cover-up? The more movies they make with this exact same plot, the more my story can be discredited due to me being mentally ill or confused or whatever. Honestly, if I were to tell my story to anyone else besides you, I feel like they would think I was just recounting a movie I saw and forgot to take my meds. But it can't be a coincidence. That plot didn't exist until at least 1980, and it has been done at least 50 times since. Why? Why keep making the same movie with the same demonic killer unless you're covering up for a real demonic killer and throwing victims into hospitals? I know this all comes off as crazy, paranoid, but I can't help what I think. They even got the crazy old man giving warnings at the beginning of half these movies. That was Harold. He was real. It would be nice to actually meet with someone who believes me, someone who has been through something like this.
You have got a whole army of people who believe you. And you're right. I know what's out there. I know the supernatural exists, and you are 100% right. That plot has been done to death. This is fascinating. I don't feel safe with you staying where you are, though. I feel like we need to move you around a bit. I'm going to transfer you back to my producer, Ricky. He's going to get some basic info from you. And if you don't mind, I would love to call you back after the show or in the morning, and we can discuss this more privately. I don't know who's listening out there, and I would rather talk one-on-one. I will only share with the audience what you feel comfortable sharing. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, great. Transferring you now. Stay on the line. Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you so much, Max. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I promise I'm not crazy. I promise I'm not crazy.
Oh, all right. Well, happy Friday the 13th, guys. That one was a doozy. We'll be right back.
My old man used to always say you gotta trust somebody sometime.
They're wanted by every cop in town.
First sign of trouble, I'll break your neck, Buster.
They've broken every law.
Trust me.
They've turned the city upside down. And they're the good guys. Kiefer Sutherland. Lou Diamond Phillips.
Well, I'm having a good time. How about you?
Renegades. Rated R.